and good evening to everyone. Thank you, Jason, for your introduction. And thank you very much for ECVI for the opportunity to join the system and build the Amway business together with you guys. I'm really excited tonight to talk to you about the eSpring water treatment system. Yes, thank you for responding. All right. So as Jason has mentioned, water comprises of 70% of our body. So it's very important if we are drinking clean water, dirty water, or polluted water, right? If you do agree with me, respond in the chat by saying, yes, I want clean water. All right. Thanks. So today we're going to learn about the water and also how does eSpring bring true water to our home. So my name is Eric. I'm a trained engineer from the University of Nottingham, Malaysia. And my master's study is in electrical and electronic engineering. So you might be wondering, hey, why does ECVI invite an electrical and electronic engineer to talk about water? It seems very unrelated. So the thing is, I'm very fortunate that my other half is actually a wastewater treatment engineer. Her name is Jessie. However, today I'll be sharing instead of her. Well, the good thing is I learned a lot from her about wastewater. So when I was with her in university, we learned that water is so important that we need a very good water filtration system despite living in a hostel instead of living in our home. Because I'm from Sabah and my university is in Selangor. So we have been renting houses, hostels in university. I'm sure most of you do feel the same out there if you are actually renting a house instead of living with your parents or living with your family members. So we try to save more money in terms of being a student or working outside. So we tend to spend better money in laptops, our mobile phone, our TV perhaps, entertainment, our mattress, our chairs. But sometimes we forget about water treatment system. So I did some research. However, when I was in the university, I was so very unfortunate. I was so very unfortunate that I found no one to share with me about eSpring water system. Because the only system that I was looking for is actually eSpring water system. The technology is just awesome. But before that, I would like to tell you what I was researching on that leads me to decide I need a system like eSpring water system. So first and foremost, today I'm going to talk about 4 parts. One is the general knowledge of what is water. How does eSpring generate true water, clean water for our body consumption? Next, how does eSpring do it with their technology? And whatever eSpring is claiming, are they certified and tested? So with eSpring certification. So general knowledge about water is water, tap water coming to our house comes from 2 very important systems. In West Malaysia, we know that there's Indah water, right? There are our sewage treatment plant, which do all these segregation based on our waste and clean water and make it acceptable and put it back into our ecosystem. That means our water stream, our supplies, our river. After that, we have water treatment plant. In every different state, we have a different company generally. In Penang, where I am right now, it's called PBA, right? In Sabah, where I grew up, it's called SESB. So generally, the idea is the same. They collect water from raw water from the environment and filter it at chemicals such as chlorine, fluoride, hydrated lime in order to make it safe for general consumption. However, both these systems are not the whole big picture. We are missing out on something. For example, what about chemicals that were excreted in between Indah water and our water treatment system? The factories that excrete all these heavy metal pollutants into the river, are they able to be filtered out by our water treatment system or water treatment plant? We are not sure, right? How about hospital wastewater or medicines that we consume and we excrete into Indah water system? Is Indah water system and the water treatment plant able to filter out these hospital medicine waste? We're not sure, right? How about when it's really, really close to us? After both plants, then they transport water into our home via pipes underneath the ground and going into our water tanks, water storage, especially in high-rise building, residential areas. Sometimes we don't even change the tanks after using them for 15 years, longer than what we were expected to do, right? For example, my house in Sabah, the water tank has leakage, but it's a double-story terrace house. It's really hard to change these systems when it was built back in the days where we have to dismantle the whole roof in order to change the tank. So chances are we will buy a new tank, or chances are we might not take care of it. So these systems are heavily contaminated. We have forgot about acid rain, pesticide, fertilizer, factory byproducts, pharmaceuticals that have polluted all our water sources before they go into the water treatment plant and back into our home, offices, and everything. So the question is, are they able to filter all them out? The answer is no, actually. You can go to Water and your water treatment plant company and search their website for what they can filter out. The question is, the answer is they cannot filter out pharmaceuticals, pesticides, byproducts, and other many pollutants such as viruses and bacteria. So today we want to talk about what are the clean water that is able to be generated by eSpring. Because when I was in university, I was looking for a system that was able to retain all the minerals such as calcium, magnesium, and fluoride in the water, because our government do introduce these beneficial organic chemical compounds in the water that helps with, for example, fluoride, that helps with our bone and teeth, right? So it's very important to retain them and don't filter them out. Next, I want my water to taste great, right? Because I use it to drink, I use it to clean, I use it to cook. So I want it to taste great, I want it to look great, I want it to smell great. Besides that, I want it to be clean. So what's the definition of clean to you? So according to experts, there are more than 140 types of inorganic contaminants in the water, in our tap water, and we want to be able to filter all them out. Besides that, there are a lot of viruses and bacteria that can enter through our water stream after the water treatment system, water treatment plant, right? Because maybe our pipes are cracked, our pipes are old, our water storage are old, and maybe we did not maintain it every now and then. So viruses and bacteria can attack these sources, and especially when water plants are not able to filter and kill these viruses and bacteria out. So we want to kill them. So this is the definition of a true water, a clean water good for our body. So before I talk about how eSpring can make true water for us, let's talk about why is it important to drink clean and good water. So according to a lot of experts, Ministry of Health, Mayo Clinic, World Health Organization, we need at least 6 cups of water a day to about 10 glass. It depends on our health and our height and weight, right? So generally, minimum 6 glasses of plain water and clean water. So you might be asking, hey, Eric, how about I drink 6 glasses of Milo Peng? Does that count? The answer is no. The reason behind is we need clean water to, yes, you might have guessed it, for digestion, for our body functions, and a lot of things. So I will show you a couple of things that's very important that you might need to take note of that will affect our health. Number 1, it prevents kidney stones, because we need these minerals and salts to dissolve in water in order to bring them out of our body and let our kidney filter them out. So if there's no clean water, chances are our kidney have to work even harder to do the filtration. So if we drink clean water every day, we can prevent kidney stones. Fantastic, right? Next, it's also good for our muscles and organs, because our muscles and organs, besides having a lot of protein, like we understand from Nutrilite workshops, they also contain a lot of water. It keeps them bouncy, it keeps them workable, it keeps them uh, uh, expandable, elastic, right? And besides that, we also have water in our blood. So all these things make up our body. Where is the 70%? It is involved in a lot of part of our body. So if you have not enough water in your muscles, you might get cramps. Besides that, we know that we need more water in our muscles and joints. If we drink more clean water, our skin are very moisturized, we look good, right? And also, if we are out of water, we will start to feel heaty, right? So-called Chinese called heaty is because we are not able to regulate our body temperature. So last but not least is also digestion. We need water to assist in digestion. And we're talking about clean water, not just Milo peng, Desi peng, Kopi peng, right? It's clean and plain water. So how does eSpring create true and clean water for all of us? Let's see the 4 exceptional technology from eSpring. Number 1, activated carbon block filter. Number 2, e-coupled wireless technology. Number 3, ultraviolet technology system. Number 4, smart chip system. I hope that you have seen this system in the market before, because when I was in the university, I was so unfortunate nobody told me about these things before. However, when I was studying in University of Nottingham, I do already know advanced carbon block filter and ultraviolet technology, these 2 things. However, when I was trying to search for a commercial water treatment, home water treatment system for me and my ex-girlfriend, which is my current wife right now, I was so unfortunate I wasn't able to find this because nobody shared eSpring technology with me. However, right now I'm so fortunate because ECVI, I do enjoy clean water with all of you. Okay, let me talk about how does these few systems are able to generate the water that you and I want to drink. Number 1, the activated advanced carbon block filter. It's able to perform 2 things, very important things. It's able to block out 140 types of contaminants in the water that we do not want, as I mentioned before, right? And it is able to allow helpful minerals like calcium and fluoride and magnesium pass through the water and back into our drinking water. Number 2, how do we kill all the viruses and bacteria in the water so it doesn't harm our body, right? We want no pathogens. That means we need the ultraviolet technology. That is the only best and safe way to disinfect the water. Ultraviolet technology in eSpring is able to kill and deactivate 99.99% of viruses and bacteria in the water. So it makes it very, very safe for consumption. Next, we know that these water systems, they uses electricity to power it up, right? So we do not want electricity touching our water immediately, because as an electrical engineer, I know that if our main supply, 240 volt, is connected to our water supply, for example, accidentally, there is a short circuit. That means when I'm taking water from my water system, I might be electrocuted, right? So I do not want that. I want it to be very, very safe. Then we have the e-coupled wireless technology that decoupled the ultraviolet tube and our main system. How safe is that, right? And you might not know, but you will know right now. I will tell you. So in most of you who have a phone that enables wireless charging, Qi charging, for example, like your iPhone, your Samsung, right? They are using a technology called Qi, right? Qi is actually first developed by a child company of Amway, Fulton Technologies. They developed the e-coupling technology first. Us Amway distributors are able to use it in our eSpring. After that, phone companies are able to use it for our mobile phones. So we are actually a very, very advanced company. Next, we have smart chip technology. The reason behind is despite all these fancy things that is able to filter all the water, we want to know what's the performance. We want to make sure our eSpring is working at tip-top conditions. So we have the smart chip technology, which is able to tell us what's the performance. Are there any trouble with eSpring system right now? We want to know that it is still able to create true water for us to consume. So yeah, the advanced carbon block filter is able to reduce 140 types of contaminant in our water, as I mentioned, and allow beneficial minerals like calcium, magnesium, fluoride to flow back into our drinking water so it doesn't filter them out. Next, the e-coupled wireless technology is able to transmit electricity through air, so it decouples the electricity from our mains to the UV light system. Next, we have the UV light, the ultraviolet technology, which is able to kill 99.99% waterborne disease, virus, and bacteria in the drinking water. Such as these. I know it's very much that you might think that, oh, wow, that's a lot. It might be just for fun, right? No, it's actually not, because in a lot of news and for the longest time that I have been in Amway business already, I know that we are able to avoid all these things like salmonella, hepatitis A, just because we have installed a eSpring water system in our home. And last but not least, the smart chip system to make sure that we know that our eSpring are working in tip-top condition. And you might be thinking, okay, most of the company just tell you how fancy they are in filtering everything. Yes, Amway also focuses on that to make sure you drink the best water. But beside that, we want it to be very user-friendly too. So in order to maintain the eSpring water system, there's basically only two things you need to change. How fantastic. Just two things. Number one, the tubing, right? That transport the tap water into the system and clean water back into your tap, right? You only need to replace it yearly or at least once in every 2 years if it's dirty already or it starts to break down. Next, the smart chip also is able to tell you if your filter cartridge requires a replacement, right? The cartridge, as seen on the right, is only one system. While I told you about the smart chip, the UV light, the advanced carbon block filter, pre-filter, which I have not told you, which is actually the white color thing here, which blocks sediments, rocks, and sand, right? It's everything in one system. Very simple. You only need to change it when it has expired after 1 year or 5,000 liter, whichever comes first. So that's the safe performance of your eSpring cartridge. Last but not least, all these that what I've been talking might be just what Eric says, right? Actually, no. We do have certifications to make sure that third-party systems, organizations do test what we have claimed. eSpring has received D certification, NSF 42 for taste and odor, and SF53, which is able to filter out more than 50 types of health-affecting contaminants, and SF55 to make sure that our UV system is good enough to kill all the virus and bacteria in the water, and SF401, which is able to filter out emerging compounds, for example, medicines, right? We know that taking medicines in huge amount will cause overdosage, right? But what about taking small amounts for an extended period of time? For example, like 40 years, 60 years, will it affect our health? So these tests need to be run. However, it requires a long time to run. So we are not sure if it is able, if it is detrimental for our health. However, eSpring take the forefront step and filter them out before it is a detrimental situation for our body. So it has the NSF 401 certification. Besides that, it also have P477, which filters out microcystin. Microcystins are those algae that sticks in water, for example, like water tanks. that the water doesn't flow that regularly, right? Then you have these microcysteines that produce toxins, and we don't want toxins for our body. So P477 indicates that eSpring can filter out microcysteines. Besides that, we also have the new one, P473, removal of PFOA and PFOS. So as you can see, eSpring, this system has been around for a long time. However, we keep improving it to make sure that we're getting new certification and we're able to filter out new things that we are found in water that might be detrimental to our health. So NSF is actually a body under World Health Organization. So it's a trustworthy third-party certification body. Besides that, every machine, right, water treatment system has to get a water quality assurance, WQA seal. So it might be a silver seal or a higher quality gold seal. What we got is actually the best one, the gold seal, which indicates the machine and everything, the build, the claims are done in a way that is able to deliver what we promise, right? So in summary, what I wanted when I was in university is just to drink clean water, true water from eSpring, which is able to retain beneficial minerals such as calcium and magnesium, great taste, reduce more than 140 types of contaminants, make sure it's clean, and no virus and bacteria. So I'm very fortunate that today I'm still drinking eSpring water with me and my wife. And I hope if you have not, you will do so together with me. And that is all for my sharing about eSpring. I'll pass my microphone back to Jason. Thank you very much.